Hi there, welcome to blog.web6.org. In today's video, I'm going to continue about our last video about registering domain in Namecheap and hosting it somewhere else. And today we're going to install WordPress properly in your web hosting. Now, I don't recommend that you use auto install or any script or any installation script of WordPress, because not only you cannot control 100%, but it is also the best that you understand how it will work in WordPress installation, and you will know how to do it properly. And also, if you use scripts or anything like that, there are some drawbacks. For example, like they are not always using the recent version of WordPress, and then next, when WordPress updated, you will need to click the installation again, and when something's wrong, at least you know how you to install it and how to fix it, stuff like that. And also, if you use scripts or something like that, you will not see how exactly the whole process of the installation. So you will not see how they do it or something like that. So it's best to manually install your WordPress blog. So let's get started. First, you're going to log into your cPanel. So I'm already logged into my cPanel because I continue my last video. It will look like this. Now, if you haven't logged into your cPanel yet, check out my other video about how to do it. But mostly you can type your domain. So for example, like wp-config.php.com, that is my domain, and then slash and then cPanel. You're going to hit enter, and then you need to enter in your password and your username. But now I already logged in a new tab, so it's showing error. So once you log in, this is how it looks like in the first time you sign up to a web host. And then I'm going to close this thing because I don't want to show it all the time. So you're going to check this, don't show this again if you don't need that. So for now, I'm just going to close this red close button here. And then here, cPanel by default will come to the new users. You can get started from now and view even the video tutorials to help you set up cPanel and stuff. But for now, I'm just going to click on no, I'm fine, thanks. And then this is how cPanel will look like. And the next step we need to do is we're going to go to our MySQL databases. So there it is, databases and MySQL databases. Click on that button. So because WordPress installation needs you to create database, because without database there is no WordPress. So you're going to create new database here. So let's do it. And we're going to choose some database name that's kind of hard to guess here. For example, like hard to guess. And let's put some number here. For example, like hard to guess 1. So our database name will be KimiWeb6_hard-to-guess1. And if it's showing error, it will tell you with red cross here. But because it doesn't show me error, so it's okay with the green check button. And then now we're going to create database. Click on create database button. Now it says that edit the database, and this is our database name. So we're going to go back. And then scroll down, and as you can see, we don't have users now for our database. We need to create a new user to this database. To do that, here in MySQL users, we're going to add new users. So we're going to add new users name here. For example, I'm going to choose any database user name, also hard to guess. So my name is as you can see now, it's error, so it cannot be longer than 7 characters. So let's do just random, just maybe sunshine and number 99, for example. And then the password. Now you can also use password generators. So this is what I actually do. So choose on password generator here, click on that, and then advanced options, you can mix it with some stuff here, and then you're going to put on 18 characters for the length and generate password again. And now, as you can see, it generates password for you. So copy that. And now we're going to open text edit. And then paste it here. And then add something. For example, like your number, for example, I don't know, and another letter, for example, and then another character. As you can see, this is a very long password, and it is good to have a password like this, so people cannot really guess what your password is. So you're going to copy this, copy, and don't close this text. If you want, you can also save it to your computer or print it and save it somewhere safe. And then I'm going to close this password generator. I don't use it, just want to generate it. So hit cancel, and then paste the password that you modify in text edit or any text editor, and paste it here. And as you can see, it's very strong, and make sure that the strength indicator showing very strong. And password again, and then create new user button. Now it says that add new users, this username with password this. Okay, so now we go back. Now that we've created a new user, we need to add that user to the databases that we've just created. To do that, here in Add User to Database section, we're going to click on drop down menu if you have many of them, but for now we have just one, so it doesn't make sense to select many of them because there are not many of them. And then make sure that this is the users, and make sure that you choose also the new database if you have many database, and then hit add. And here we're going to check all privileges, and then click on make changes. And then hit go back. And check again, scroll down. If you see that now databases, so this is our databases, has our username. And once you know that there is already configured here the user and the database, we go back to our cPanel home in the home button here. Next is we're going to scroll down and see on files, and then we go to file manager here. Click on that file manager icon, and here we're going to choose on document root, and here you can select on your domain name, but because we also have only one domain name, it shows only our domain name, so that's okay. And then we're going to hit go. And then now, as you can see, we have default files that provided by your host actually when you sign up for them for the first time. So make sure that you delete this default HTML and favicon.ico or any files here, but also if you are not sure what they are, just leave it as it is. So because I know that default HTML and favicon.ico, I don't need them, so I'm just going to select this and then hit delete. Now, once we delete any files that we don't need in our host, we're going to download WordPress. So go to your Google and then type in on download WordPress. There it is. Now we're going to click it from this URL. So here we can download the latest version of WordPress, and for at this moment when I create this video, it's showing that WordPress 3.9. So we're going to download this WordPress 3.9. So once it's finished downloading, it depends on where you save your download in your computer. Mine is saved on my desktop, so I go to my desktop here and then go back to our cPanel here, and then we're going to upload this zip file. So we're going to upload it and then choose file, and then navigate to your desktop and then choose WordPress.zip file, and then we're going to open it, and it will be uploaded here in our server. So when it's done, uploaded to your server, you will see that it is complete. And then you can go back to your public_html folder. And then as you can see now, we have our WordPress.zip there. We're going to select it and then extract, leave it by default, and then extract files. And then hit close. Now, if you don't see WordPress folder here, you can click on reload icon here. But because I see it now, so I'm just going to delete this WordPress.zip file, delete it. And then we're going to select this WordPress folder and double click it to open the folder. And when it's open, you can on select all. You can click on select all button on the top, and then we're going to move file. So click on move file, and then delete this WordPress. Otherwise, you will have WordPress URL in your blog URL. So going to delete this WordPress folder and then move files. Now the file is empty. We're going to up one level, and delete this WordPress folder. Now that we have our WordPress files here, let's take a look on license.txt. So if we go here to WP how to site, basically your domain name.com, and then slash license.txt, you can read any text here which showing the license of using your WordPress websites. So you can read that. And what I want to show you is there is also another file which is called me.html, and this is very important actually to read it. In the past I didn't really care to read it, but it is actually good that you can also read it before you install. So readme.html. Just delete the license.txt and replace it with readme.html. And this is the things that you need to know about WordPress. So you can see there is a creator of WordPress, what he says about it, and then the installation, even and updating manually, and some important stuff here that I recommend you can read it if you have time. So for now, we're going just to go back to our cPanel, and we are going to install WordPress. So we're going to type on our URL, so our domain name, and you will see this. If you see this, this is already a good sign that we can now create a configuration file. So click on create a configuration file, and then hit let's go button, and we type in our database name. If you forget about our database name, like what I'm doing now, you can go back to your databases here. So in cPanel, databases options, and then MySQL databases icon. Click on that, and then scroll down here in the table here. You can see that this is our database name. Copy this and go back to our configuration file, paste it here, and then go back again and type in, look for our username here. This is our users, so this database has this username. Copy this and paste it here. And then the password you remember to save your password somewhere or to print it. This is our password that we just created, and then type in here the password. And the databases, the database host is usually localhost. If later it will not work with localhost, you should contact your host. And table prefix, also choose any random and don't leave it by default, so not WP, and some numbers, and hit submit and run the install. Now that we already inside our installation file, which is you can also access it on wp-admin and then /.install.php. Here you can have a link for README documentation, which will open the readme.html that we've read earlier. And then here we're going to type in the information we needed for our new blog. So in this site title box, we need to take advantage of the keyword of your blog. So let's say you are going to blog about holiday tips. So we're going to put your site title is holiday, and then tips and tricks, for example, or guides. So this has your keyword about holiday tips and guides, and then your username. So you're going to type in any username that you want. So I'm just going to type in KimiWeb6 that I just did already, and then put your password here, any password that you like, and make sure that this one has indicator strong. So once we're done with our password and it's showing it's strong, we can then enter our email address. So enter your email address here. So once we're done with our email address, this is very important, the privacy. Now I really recommend that you just take this off, because once you install your WordPress blog, you don't want to index the Hello World post and the default pages, sample pages, the default WordPress blog. You want a search engine to index your site when it's ready. When you create your pages already, and then clean some stuff, and then you can check this allow search engine to index this site later on. So please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will give you some tips in the near future about this, but for now we're going to tick this off, so we don't want search engine to index our very new site. And then install WordPress button here, we click it. Now it's showing that it's success, and we can log into our website. Now also to get best practice, you can always log into your WordPress blog. So let's see, now we're going to hit login here, and then click on login. And then I'm going to log out just to show you how we can log in actually to our WordPress. And as you can see, once you log in, you will not see that kind of button to log in again. But what you can do is you're going to your domain, so wp-howtosite.com, and also delete all of this. And then after the slash, we're going to type in wp-admin. So whenever you want to log in, type on your domain name / and wp-admin, and then hit enter. And then it will bring you to this page. Now if we go back to our site, let's say now we are here, as you can see, this is the default of WordPress blog. This is why I don't want to index my site, because WordPress by default give you hello world posts, and a lot of websites using WordPress and they are using hello world posts. And if search engine index your site with hello world posts, this is not really important for users. So it's best to leave your new site to be not indexed by search engines, and then later you can still index your site when it's ready. Also about the login, you can look on Meta here, Meta widget. By default, WordPress theme has Meta widget and link to login. You can also click that. And as you can see, it will bring you back to wp-login.php, which you can also access this page by wp-admin. So let me now explain one other things. We go back to our cPanel and see what WordPress gives us once we install WordPress. So this is the page that we left off earlier. We're going to reload this page and then see what kind of new things here that we see that it didn't access earlier. So the most important thing is that wp-config sample.php and wp-config.php. If you follow along this tutorial, you will have the wp-config.php once we click the create a configuration button earlier. So if we're going to select on wp-config.sample.php and click on view, as you can see, this is the file that WordPress gave us to install WordPress, but we didn't need that earlier because we create a configuration file while installation process. So what we can do is close this again and delete this wp-config-sample.php. Delete that. So when it's done, you might want to delete license.txt or readme.html, but it's best to leave them like it is, because as you can see, the file size is also not too big, and maybe at later time you will need to read that license.txt and readme.html. As you can see, this file containing many important infos for your WordPress blog. And the next, what we can do is checking on wp-config.php. So let's do that. Select that wp-config.php and click on view. Now check any information here, but the most important is that the authentication, unique keys and salts. Make sure that this is filled in with any random letters and characters here. If it's not like this, you need to go to this URL, copy this and paste it here, and it will generate for you. You can also refresh it to generate some, and then if you don't have it already, and then you can copy all of this and then paste it here in this line. But we have already in this case, so we're just going to check it if you have this kind of key, and this is very, very important. Once we do that, we're going to click that page and go back to our cPanel again, and then the next what we need to clean is that wp-admin. So select on that folder and then double click it. So once we are here, what we need is that install.php. So scroll down and look where install.php. There it is, install.php. Because we've just installed our WordPress, we don't need install.php. So select this install.php and then select also install helper.php and then hit on delete. It will not break your site because we just install our site. Delete this and it's gone. Now we go up to one level again. Now there are many tips and tricks to also secure your WordPress, but this will not be covered in this video, so please subscribe to this channel. I will create some videos about that in the near futures. So at least that is the basic cleanup once you install your WordPress. Now we are done with our cPanel cleanup. Next is we're going back to our admin again. So remember to log into your dashboard. You're going to type in your domain name and then / and then wp and then -admin. And then hit login, type in your username, and then type in your password when you install WordPress. So this is our new installation of WordPress. Now we need also to clean up everything here. So first step is go to our username. So hover on your top your username and then edit my profile. Click on that. And then you're going to choose your color here, but for me, I just leave it by default. So the most important thing here is the nickname, because by default, the nickname is the same name as the login of your username, and this will at least help people who want to hack your site that you have username exactly the same as your nickname. So strongly recommend that you change this by typing your username. For example, I'm going to type in my my last name and first name, and then my nickname I'm going to choose on Kimi, for example, and then choose display name publicly as anything but not as your login username. So I'm going to choose on Kimi. And then scroll down. If you want to choose to type new password, then you're going to choose new password here. But for now, I'm just going to hit update profile. And as you can see now, this is our display name, which in fact, it's not our login username. Now, there is also security still problem here, because by default, our admin ID is actually 1. Now, I also don't cover in this video because we just want to clean up stuff here. The next is we're going to do that in the next videos. So we leave on our profile here, and the next is we clean up our new install WordPress site. So go to post, all posts. So by default, WordPress gives you some example of hello world posts. So if you go to visit your site, let me close this thing. As you can see, this is our hello world post in the front end. This is how it looks like. So it just gives you an idea how a post will look like in WordPress. It's also very important to understand how it is work once you install WordPress. So once you already checking, okay, so this is how it looks like a WordPress post, you can then delete this post. So we're going to just select this hello world post and then click on trash. Once it's on trash, it means you can also click undo, and then it's also now not in our published post anymore, but now it's in our trash. If you click on that trash icon or trash link, you will see that this is your hello world post. Now, if you really don't need that, I really recommend that you delete permanently, because by deleting hello world post, it will bring your WordPress to trash, but it will not delete it from your database. So if you sure that you don't need this hello world post anymore, you're going to just click on delete permanently. Now it is delete permanently. We don't have any post here. You can then click add new if you want, and then click on new post. But for now, we don't do that because we just want to clean up our WordPress installation. Next is we're going under the post, we're going to categories. Click on categories. Here, we're going to quick edit uncategorized, because by default it says uncategorized, and you don't want that because it's default WordPress installation category name. We're going to hit click quick edit here and then name it anything you like. For example, my blog is about holidays, so I'm going to name my default category as travel. And then the Slack, I'm just going to click on travel. To understand Slack and stuff, I will not cover for this video, but Slack is actually the URL, so like wp-admin and so forth. So this travel will go to Slack. So let's do that. So to type in on Slack, you should type in on all small letters and then update category. So once the default uncategorized category done, next is we going to pages. So all pages, and also view the sample page to understand what it is like, a page in WordPress. As you can see, it has normal text and then quote, I guess, and some link. So we're going to edit this to view on edit this post, this sample page in backend, how it looks like. So as you can see, this is by default in our WordPress blog, a page. So it also gives you an idea how a sample page looks like here. And you also have text tab here. It shows you the HTML code that you can just take a look if you don't want to learn it. But actually, the point of having sample page in your blog is that giving you an idea how it is look like a sample page or a page in WordPress. Once you know that you don't need anymore this page, you can either edit it or delete it. So let's delete it for now. We're going to delete this. So go back to our dashboard again, and then inside pages and all pages here, we're going to delete sample page. So going to select it and then hit trash. Same with the post. It is deleted, but it is on trash and it's not deleted entirely from your databases. Now we are going to delete this permanently once we know that we don't need this page anymore. So delete permanently. Now it's deleted. You can then create new pages like about page or any other page, but again it is not covered in this video. So next is that we go to appearance and then themes. Now this is the default themes that you get when you install WordPress. So there is 2014, 2013 and 2012. I strongly recommend that you clean up the themes that you don't need. So for example, I don't need this 2013 theme because I'm using 2014. So what you can do is click on that theme and then hit delete button here on the right button. Delete this and hit OK. And then also delete this because I don't need this. Now I only have this 2014 theme. So in the next future, maybe you will need that 2013 file. You can always install it inside on themes and add new here and look for 2013. So don't worry about this. You can always install any themes you like. And then the next is we're going to hit to click on plugins. And then, as you can see, this is Akismet that I don't recommend you to delete it. So let's take a look on Hello Dolly. Hello Dolly is kind of plugin that connected to WordPress. If there is no WordPress, there is no Hello Dolly plugin. So let's activate it just to see what it is. So this is Hello Dolly plugin will look like. It will give you a kind of wording, any message here on the top. And once you go to other pages, so let's go to appearance, that thing will just generate it randomly here on the top of right of your dashboard. So once you think that you don't need that, I also will just delete this. So we go to plugins and install plugins. And let's say you don't need that text on the top right button, you can also deactivate it and then delete this plugin if you don't need that. I personally will delete it because I don't need that. So this is already the last plugin that we have by default, but I don't delete Akismet because it is good to combat spams in your WordPress blog. Next, the most important is that the settings options here. Go to General, And then this is our site title. So let's go to our website here, visit site. As you can see, this is our website. This is the title of our website, but there is just another WordPress site. And if you don't change it, there are a lot of websites that has just another website site. So I really recommend that you change this as well. So go back to our dashboard. Let me close stuff here. And here we can add a few words that explain about this site about. So let's type in on anything that related to holiday and traveling. So if you love traveling, this my holiday tips might be helpful. For example, like this. So once we're done with the tagline, you can scroll down. You can also change email address whenever comments are posted by somebody. You can receive any updates here on your email address. And then also memberships, you can choose on anyone can register. But to be honest, this will invite spam registers in your website blog. So if you don't think that you don't need anyone to register, I just recommend it to tick this off. But if you really have to check this so anyone can register, make sure that the new user default role is not administrator. So you can choose on subscriber or contributor. So once you've done that, I just recommend that you don't change anything here, but you can do that as well. But for now, I just there was just the most important stuff here in general setting. So I'm going to hit Save Changes. Also in writing, so we go back to our writing here. You can choose anything like that, but as you can see now, you can choose the default post format. I also leave it all of this by default. Sorry. Basically, in writing there is not so much things to change, so I'm just going to leave on by default here. And then the reading setting here, by default it's showing 10 of your posts. But this is also not important if you don't change it. But the most important is that for each article in a feed show full text or summary. I recommend that you choose summary because when people read your feed, if you show full text, they will not likely to visit your site. If you click on summary, it will display the summary and they will be curious about what the full blog post is, and then they will likely visit your site. So I'm just going to hit summary if you want to have more visitors, and here search engine visibility, because we just don't want search engine to index our new site earlier. This is why it is checked. And then hit Save Changes. Also, one note here, once you already create your blog and put your website, and then you are ready to have your website indexed by search engines, you can go again to settings, reading, and then tick this off and hit Save Changes. This will make the search engines index your finished site. Next is discussion. Click on that. So I also almost leave it by default for most of my sites, but you can also tick this on. So comment must be manually approved. This means whenever people comment on your blog, it will be notifying you, and then you will be manually approve this comment, and then it will be published to reduce spam in your blog. So I'm just going to tick this on for now. And for comment moderation and comment blacklist, it will not cover for now, because this is also not really the default setting once you install your WordPress. So I'm just going to hit Save Changes. Media, it's also not really important to change these settings here, but it is good to understand what it is about. Make sure the thumbnail size by default is having the 150 times 150 dimensions. So you can use this size, or you can make it bigger or smaller. And the medium size, it's having this dimension, and larger size is this larger size. The most important is that make sure that you're uploading files is organized in month and year based folder. This is easy to remember and easy to take a look when you back up or something like that. So make sure this is checked. And yeah, like I said earlier, I will not change this stuff here. So because I don't change anything, I don't have to click on save changes button here. Now the really most important is that permalink. So let's check on permalinks setting here. By default, this is our permalink. So with the P and stuff like this. So let's create new post for the sake of the permalink, showing the permalink work. So create new post here. For example, this is my first post. And then this one called toolbar toggle, or in the old WordPress version it's called kitchen sink. Make sure that you check on this, so you will have more option here on your visual editor, how you can style your WordPress post. For example, type in the text. So just do that and then hit publish. And then let's view it. So as you can see, this is my first post. As you can see, by default, it gives you permalink that kind of P and then equal to the post ID. And I don't recommend that you leave it by default, because when people visiting your site and they look at your permalinks here, it's kind of hard to know what your post is all about. So I'm just going to recommend that you change this by default. So this is the post name permalink. This is the best for now. And then hit save changes and let's take a look what happened. And let's refresh it. Now as you can see, that numbers post ID is replaced with this is my first post. So as you can see, for users or for your visitors, this is already quite helpful that they know your permalink and this URL. They visit your site. Okay, so they take a look at this. Okay, so this is his or her first post. So this is very easy for the users, and it's also very good for search engine optimization, because search engine also know what you post about also from this URL permalink. So it's best to change your permalink immediately once you install WordPress. Go back to our permalink settings. This is the category base. So let's go back to our first post and let's edit this. Now if we go on the categories, as you can see, by default, if you don't choose any category link here, it will be added to the default category, which is travel, that we changed earlier. Now you can change it to any new category. For example, I'm going to add new category like journey, and then add new, and then I'm just going to have this post on journey category and not travel, and then hit update. Let's see what happened. Go back to our site again and our post. So once we are here, we can also see in the right sidebar that we have journey category. So let's click that. Now we look on the permalink again. As you can see, this is having the category as the base category URL, and then our category as journey. So in this permalink setting, in this things, we can change our category base. For example, this is about holiday tips and guides, so I'm just going to choose on the category base as guide. Now note that you don't have to do that, but you can do this. Actually, it's also recommended that you decide on once you install WordPress. You're going to use it or you don't use it at all, because this will not be good if you, for example, in 3 months or in 5 months, you change your mind again and delete this and change it or anything like that, or leave it by default. So it's not recommended you do this, because this will confuse search engine optimization on your blog or your website, and then from my experience, it will decrease your ranking. So make sure you decide your things here, or leave it by default, but I personally will just choose I personally will just change this category base because I don't like this category as journey for my new site, because I learned from my first site and it was not good that I leave the category as the category base. This is why I want to share about my my experience and my my mistakes on my first blog, that I also was new in blogging, so you can then learn from this experience, I hope. Go back to our Permalink setting, and then I'm going to choose on category base as guides. So we now choose category, we now change the category base, and for the tag base we will discuss in a moment. So hit save changes, and let's see what happens. So at the moment it still has category and then our category name. So let's refresh it. So now it's showing that it's not found because we don't have this category URL anymore. Remember, now if we are looking at the categories in the left sidebar, you see that there is a journey. So we're going to click on that, and let's see, now it's changed. It was category and now it changed to guides and journey. I think that's I think that's better than leave it by default as category. Now, as you notice, this is containing a capital letter, so we can change this as a small letter. I guess that's better. Save changes and refresh again, and just click it. Now it's changed to guides and journey with the small letters. So now next for the tags. So let's edit our first post. For our first example post, we didn't have these tags earlier, so let's create on our tags. For example, like summer and sun, for example, and then add. And as you can see, now we have summer and then sun as tags. Let's update it, and then view post. Now our post, our first post, has now tags as summer and sun. Let's click the tag summer. And as you can see, the URL is still by default, which is tag and then summer. It's also the same with the category base. You can also leave it like it is, or you can also change this tag URL as some words. Let's say now I'm going to change it as topics, for example, and then hit save changes. If now we go back and refresh, it will say it will not found because we doesn't have any URL which containing on tag wording. So let's go to our first post again and click on one of our tag. For now, we're going to click on that sun tag, and as you can see, the URL is now changed to topics. So that's how you can understand about Permalink setting, which is optional with category base and tag base. As I said earlier, you need to decide from now on. So either you're going to leave it by default or change it, but stick on this. This is because of search engine optimization thing, that it will also see that your site doesn't have any other different category base or tag base. So now we are done by cleaning up our first new WordPress blog. I actually wanted to just show you how you can do a lot of things with your new WordPress blog, but I guess this is for this will be too long for this video, so I'm going just to decide. See you in the next videos, and take care until then, and thank you so much for watching this video. Please like if you really find this post is useful, and I will be so thankful about that. So take care guys, and see you. Goodbye.